This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navila. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And he's made the green. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Even par early on. Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards. The third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line. It's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot into there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Has to like that one. Another birdie to get to 2 under par. Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball should perfect and in the hole. What a shot. Here we are at the par 5 fifth. It's 570 yards. Frank, this should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, getting set for this approach shot, our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help then.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Takes care of business. 5 under par. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In a modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4-8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk. That's an absolute beauty.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway.
One of the things I think that's captivated the audience now with Rory McIlroy is he's doing things that we thought only one other player could do, and that's Tiger Woods. When you can streak fields in a major championship by nearly double figures, that's when you're in a class in your own. And I know that's stating the obvious.
He has a gear, Frank, that I don't think other players have. You might be rolling along at 95 miles per hour and you think you're moving and you look to your right and you blink and go, who was that? Somebody just went by me, and he's doing 125 and make it look easy. This kid is really special. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Almost. Wow. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in. Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Birdie try up next. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Wow, a 5th birdie on the day. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun. Well, he's taking the right side out of play, Rich. It looks a little left.
Coming out of the rough, not able to control it the way he wants. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He is just so explosive. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right. And then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know the line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And getting ready for the putt. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just one shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
So they'll tap in. Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt and deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
And takes the wind right out of your sails.
I'm loving that balance.
Well, beautiful drive.
It's certainly taken the pressure off the rest of the hole.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, not surprisingly, Rory McIlroy owns the event record here, 21 under par. That came in 2015. He won by a touchdown by 7 shots. And then we all remember what he did here in 2010.
Yeah, remember the runner-up, which was Patrick Rogers. He shot 14 under. And that's won just about every other championship at this event. So it shows you the magnitude of Rory's victory. You know, an artist needs a canvas. A golfer needs a golf course. For Rory McIlroy, Quail Hollow was the perfect landscape to show his skills.
At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole, and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past and miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Birdie try up next. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. They'll take it. That's a par. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it'll be.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great.